When most people think of social anxiety, they picture someone quiet and shy who avoids drawing attention to themselves. This would certainly describe the majority of people with social anxiety disorder. But social anxiety disorder can present itself in a very different way in some people. These people can come across as extremely extroverted. For simplicity's sake, I will refer to these two different types as extroverted social anxiety disorder and introverted social anxiety disorder, though they are effectively the same disorder. So how can an extrovert be socially anxious? And what's the difference between extroverted social anxiety and introverted social anxiety? First, let's look at what the two have in common. Social anxiety disorder is driven by maladaptive beliefs, often stemming from childhood. For example, here are just a few common beliefs in social anxiety. If people know that I am anxious, they will think that I'm weak. Everyone loves extroverts, but no one likes introverts. If I can't say something interesting, people will not like me. The thoughts that people with social anxiety get in social situations are very much linked to these beliefs. For example, they'll have the thought, someone is going to notice that I'm nervous. Or people are going to notice that I'm shy and they'll not like me. If I try to make conversation, they will think I'm boring. These thoughts can lead to physical symptoms like sweating, shaking, and an increased heart rate. So far, everything is the same between introverted social anxiety disorder and extroverted social anxiety. Both are suffering terrible anxiety in social situations. The difference is the behaviours that they employ to try to deal with these negative beliefs and thoughts. In a social situation, someone with introverted social anxiety disorder will try to leave, or avoid eye contact, or position themselves somewhere that they'll not be noticed, so that people cannot see that they're nervous or expose their perceived inability to make interesting conversation. Whereas someone with extroverted social anxiety disorder will try to hide their anxiety by acting extremely extroverted, being loud, chatty, and trying to draw attention to themselves. These behaviours, in both cases, are called safety or avoidance behaviours. They are designed to keep them safe from the perceived negative judgment that people with social anxiety fear. Everyone's safety behaviours will be different, but common extroverted safety behaviours are talking very loud and talking a lot, telling jokes and constantly trying to entertain people or make them laugh, being over-friendly, or inappropriate or wild behaviour, which is common if alcohol is used to hide the anxiety. Saying things designed to impress people or to appear interesting. And drawing attention to oneself through unusual clothing or hairstyles. Now, the problem with safety behaviours are, firstly, they often achieve the opposite of what they're intended to achieve. For example, instead of making you more popular, they can actually do the opposite, especially if you've gone over the top with your extroverted behaviour. Secondly, repeating the behaviour reinforces the negative belief, which increases the anxiety in the long term. That's just how the mind works. And thirdly, the negative belief driving the anxiety is never disproved because no one ever sees the real you. In cognitive behavioural therapy, you are taught to challenge these beliefs with behavioural experiments. For example, in a social situation, you might be asked to reduce your talking by 50% or lower your voice. You make a prediction of what you think will happen, and then compare it with what actually happened, and then you reflect on how the results have affected your belief. You're also encouraged to become more aware of your safety behaviours and to gradually reduce them. To help with this, you are given tools to challenge the negative thoughts that drive the behaviours. There is no magical cure for social anxiety, but CBT can help you manage it and reduce it, so that you'll feel less need to perform these often damaging safety behaviours. There are plenty of good CBT therapists about, but if you cannot access therapy, my channel will continue to provide CBT-based videos for anxiety disorders. So make sure you subscribe, or leave a comment if you'd like to know more about this subject. And please share my videos so that others with social anxiety can benefit. The key to beating anxiety disorders is knowledge. Let's share that knowledge.